Hi, welcome back to Digestible News, your news in digestible English. First, some housekeeping. I have a request from one of you to not use Korean in the explanation. I will do that. And another request to make it a little more difficult. So, today's reading speed will be increased slightly. Alright? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Here we go. Let's start here in South Korea. President Lee Jae-myung ordered a strict investigation on Tuesday into an unauthorized drone flight into North Korea. Unauthorized means not having official permission. President Lee called the drone flight a serious crime that threatens national security. North Korea claimed on January 10th that a South Korean drone entered its airspace on January 4th. Airspace means the sky above a country. North Korea said it brought down the drone near Kaesong. The South Korean military said the drone was not operated by the military. Lee spoke during a cabinet meeting at Chonghwade. A cabinet meeting is a meeting of government ministers, such as the Minister of Health, the Minister of Public Safety, things like that. When they meet together, it's called a cabinet meeting. He said if civilians sent the drone, it is like firing shots into North Korean territory. He compared it to starting a war. A joint military police team summoned a civilian suspect last Friday. A joint military police team is a police and military working together to investigate some situation or crime. South Korean media reported that the suspect worked at the presidential office under former President Yoon Suk-yeol. Lee criticized Defense Minister An Kyubek for failing to detect the drone. He asked how the drone could cross the border multiple times without being detected. An individual claimed in a recent interview that he sent drones into North Korea 3 times since September. We'll move straight into a story involving taxis and foreigners. I'm sure you know where this is going. The Seoul metropolitan government began issuing bilingual taxi receipts in December 2025. Bilingual means 2 languages, bi being 2 and lingual meaning tongue or language. The new receipts include English translations of the fare, pickup, and drop-off times, and, importantly, surcharges. Surcharges are extra fees added to the basic price for some reason. In this case, fraud potentially. The city said 487 cases of overcharging were reported by foreign passengers between June and December 2025. Overcharging means to charge too much money. If it's 20,000 won, they charge 25. That is an overcharge. Foreign tourists are more vulnerable because receipts are only in Korean before. Seoul installed complaint guidance stickers inside 71,000 taxis. The stickers show QR codes that passengers can scan to file complaints. The city put up banners and posters at 78 taxi stands near major tourist areas, including Myeongdong, Hongdae, and Itaewon. The city government is investigating all reported cases and imposing fines when overcharging is confirmed. Seoul also requested that private taxi apps like Kakao Mobility and Tada offer fare breakdowns in English. Yo Chang-kwon, head of Seoul's Transportation Bureau, said the city wants to break the cycle of illegal taxi practices. He said Seoul will impose stricter penalties on drivers when wrongdoing is confirmed. A side note, the 487 cases of overcharging were caught by people who either know Korean or were able to distinguish what a surcharge was in that moment. There are many, many, many more that are never reported. Yes, now we'll move on to education. The Ministry of Education announced Tuesday it will amend laws to punish private academy instructors who buy and sell test questions. I'm sure you heard about the major scandal recently. Amend means to make official changes to a law or to a constitution. To amend is to change. The ministry aims to propose the amendment within this year. An amendment is something that is amended. All right? Prosecutors indicted, and this is important, indicted has a C in it, but it is not pronounced. So indicted is the correct pronunciation. Prosecutors indicted 46 private academy instructors last month. Indicted means to formally accuse someone of a crime in court. The instructors included famous star lecturers who obtained exam questions from current teachers. Two well-known instructors, Hyun Woo-jin and Jo Jung-sik, allegedly paid sitting teachers large amounts of money. Hyun paid 420 million won and Jo paid 83 million won for questions from mock college entrance exams. Mock exams are practice tests and help students prepare for the real thing. Think of a mock exam being identical to how they do a real test, but it doesn't count. Okay? Prosecutors said buying and selling sunung, mock exam questions, distorts the nationwide rankings of students. Distort means to twist or change something from its true form. It undermines the fairness of the admissions system. The practice also allows instructors to benefit their businesses by using advanced knowledge to boost student scores. Presidential Chief of Staff Kang Hoon-sik said the foundation of a fair country is an admission system free of cheating. He said education authorities owe students an apology. Now to a story a little bit close to home. Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae announced on Monday that she will dissolve parliament on Friday and call a snap election. A snap election is a snap election. It means an election called earlier than scheduled. The vote will be held on February 8th. Takaichi is calling the election to win voter support for her economic policies. She became prime minister in October, but wants a strong mandate from voters. A mandate means official permission from voters to carry out policies. The main issue in the election campaign is Japan's consumption tax. Consumption tax is a tax people pay when they buy things. Japan currently charges 8% tax on food and 10% on other items. Takaichi has promised to suspend the 8% food tax for 2 years if she wins the election. Many Japanese voters are struggling with high prices. Inflation, by the way, means prices that go up over time, even if the pay is not going up. Food prices have been particularly high for nearly 4 years. Takaichi hopes her tax cut promise will appeal to voters worried about the cost of living. Opposition parties are making similar promises to cut taxes. A new opposition party wants to eliminate the food tax completely. Other opposition parties have also called for the consumption tax to be reduced or abolished. This has made tax policy the central issue of the campaign. However, economists are concerned about the tax cut plans. Removing the food tax would reduce government revenue by about 5 trillion yen per year. That equals around $31.7 billion. Japan already has large government debt. Takaichi said the government will not borrow more money. Instead, she said they will cut other spending programs. Bond yields rose after Takaichi's announcement. A bond yield is the return investors get from government bonds. A government bond is like an investment in the stock market, but instead it's in the government. The rise shows that investors are worried about Japan's fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is how the government manages its spending and taxation. That is all for today's news. It's really cold out there these days in Seoul, so please stay warm and be careful with your pipes and water heater. All right, until next time, please stay informed and above all, stay curious. See you next time.